Welcome back. It is 9:23 right now. So doctors are now saying unvaccinated pregnant women are particularly at risk when it comes to COVID-19. According to a new study from the Journal of the American Medical Association, more young and healthy pregnant women are ending up hospitalized on ventilators, delivering babies prematurely, even dying from COVID-19 because they are unvaccinated. So joining me this morning to talk about this, Dr. Tanya Sorensen with the Swedish Maternal and Fetal Specialty Center. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us here. I know that our viewers have a lot of questions, so we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk about this so people understand the importance.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the importance because, these are kind of alarming numbers. We're talking about 76% of pregnant women, according to latest study numbers, are unvaccinated. What is your reaction when you hear a number like that?
It's actually really alarming, and that's because at the moment we're seeing a very different picture of COVID and pregnancy than we saw in the beginning. I'm not sure if it's the Delta variant, but we are seeing pregnant women get far sicker than we have, and it's affecting both mothers and babies.
Okay, so we are getting, as I mentioned, a lot of questions from viewers. So we, are fortunate to be able to pass those along to you this morning. One viewer actually asked, am I at increased risk of getting COVID-19 if I don't get the vaccine? Is there an increased risk or is it the same risk?
Generally speaking, and I think this holds obviously also holds true for COVID, pregnant women are a little immune compromised, so they tend to have a higher risk of getting any kind of infection. So higher risk of getting COVID, and although severe complications are rare, again, higher risk of having a severe infection if you're pregnant.
And also, I feel like I've heard a lot about this. Some people saying that, if you get the COVID vaccine and you're pregnant, you pass the antibodies to baby. Is that a thing? How does that work?
Yeah, that's actually a great point. It appears that we are seeing antibodies pass to babies, and that is also true of other vaccines. So a baby who can't be vaccinated is likely to be getting some passive antibodies from the mother who's been vaccinated.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Now, let's say we've got a viewer asking, I got my first dose of the vaccine and then I found out I was pregnant. Should I go ahead and get the second dose? Does anything change in that regard?
No, you should absolutely go ahead and get the second dose. You need the 2 doses to be fully protected, and there's really no evidence that there's any harm to getting the vaccine in pregnancy.
Okay. Now, when we talk about harm, I also want to ask, we started this segment with some pretty scary images of, premature babies and moms on ventilators. Can you talk a little bit about some of the real life situations that you are seeing when it comes to unvaccinated mothers who are pregnant in these COVID-19 situations?
Yeah, absolutely. It's heartbreaking. We are seeing exactly that. During the pandemic to date, we occasionally have had a sick mom with COVID, but now, as we speak, at Swedish, we have 4 women in the ICU with COVID, had a death. We've had women delivered prematurely, which obviously puts their babies at risk as well. So it's really devastating. It's hard to see.
We've seen it in the media. We've gotten, we hear from people all the time who just are not comfortable still with this vaccine. After this segment, if there's a pregnant woman out there who says, I am still hesitant to get this, what would you say to them?
When we were first counseling patients, we didn't know very much about the vaccine or about COVID and pregnancy, and we were more cautious about recommending the vaccine. We now have a lot of data around the vaccine in pregnancy that says it's safe, and we are now seeing many, many more devastatingly ill pregnant women. And so, everyone has to make their own decision, but I am 100% confident that it's best to get the vaccine and avoid the risk of getting sick and having effects on your baby as well.
And it sounds like hopefully some women out there who are in the middle of pregnancy can also talk to doctors like you and get some of that, some of those personal questions answered as well.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Sorensen, thank you so much for joining us here and an important conversation. We appreciate you being here.